Paper was like gold in medieval times.
Oh, not tobacco, sugar.
That everything we thought we knew about the world might turn out to be completely wrong.
Looking out over these historic walls, I see a peaceful city, a safe city, a hopeful city, full of young people that should have a peaceful and prosperous future here where their roots and families are. That is what I see today with you.
People of these islands look forward today, and we see the chance at last to escape those heavy chains of history.
This area, Craigan, was a no-go area for police or army personnel.
Then came a chilling display of firepower in the staunchly Republican ghetto of the Craigan.
Our community was like an open prison. It was completely surrounded by armed British forces. There was armed actions on the street every single day, and it was a really, really bad time, a very emotional time. This is God's country, this is where I was born. Maybe you'd have shot a British soldier 2 or 3 streets away and you came through the houses to get away. And I decided to join the movement when I was 15. So I did, and that was 1971. And I was eventually captured and I was interned. At some stage, somebody worked out that I had served the equivalent of a 16-year prison sentence, but I'd never been convicted.
I first met Hugh when I was investigating punishment shootings in Northern Ireland. I'd heard about a mother who had brought her son to be shot. I wanted to know how this could have taken place within the United Kingdom and what had happened afterwards. How is something like this resolved within a community and within a family? The Troubles were long over, but there was obviously a connection, and I wanted to try and understand it. How do wars truly end? These are big questions, yet I thought I was there to make a short news report and that I'd be finished in a few days. I was wrong.
You know, he tells me, the police officer, encouraged him not to make a complaint because he said, look, it's a vicious circle. The people who actually carried out the attack was his ex-partner's ex-wife's son. Your man was shouting, we'll be back and we'll burn you out the next time. Now, I think that's an immediate threat.
Hugh was expelled from the Republican movement during the peace process. He wouldn't say why when we first met. Nowadays, he works within the Rosemount Resource Centre, and part of his work is to mediate between the armed, dissident groups and individuals who are judged to be a problem. One of his cases involved Sinéad O'Donnell, who'd been accused of drug dealing and had taunted dissidents on Facebook.
Philly was a really bad influence in our community. The community were going absolutely berserk. You're always going to get bad apples. But the community will deal with them themselves.
No, but my brother, he cannot stop surprising me, like. Because one day I was sitting just pure having a leafless sleep, walks in my room, he be look at I have, and I saw what? Pulled out a Colt M19, I tried to already fire it and saw him pour on, I was good. The fires I got there.
So Philip had a real gun up the stairs?
No, remember I said it fired wee hanks? Mushroom heads? Remember the black gun he had? Out there? The black one he pulled back, he got there and he went and got boom.
Well, I can't think of the minute game, Barry, but...
The armed groups don't decide on their own. They, listen, have we shot anybody out of that street yet? That's not the way it works.
I had to give them £2,000 and they wanted more.
It's the community who go and ask them to take action against individuals who are carrying out antisocial behaviour.
So Philip was on drugs every day, and then when he didn't have the drugs, the coming down was, that's what we had to live with then. You know, my husband been in jail. I haven't got nobody to say, you take over.
I was here too, don't forget that. I was your right hand man, so just don't forget that.
They had issued 2 or 3 warnings to him. We became aware of the threat and we intervened on his behalf, and we were told quite bluntly to mind our own business.
They told me what they were going to do. Well, Philip, they would shoot him with a low caliber gun, that they wouldn't hurt him as bad as what he was going to get. And I don't remember what I even said then after that, because I just don't remember. All I just remember was just, I couldn't even walk right. I was shaking. And I thought, well, what am I going to do?
If I were in Majella's shoes, I would have come to the same conclusion.
After the shooting, Philly was banished, as it is called, to Belfast, and Majella had to begin renegotiating with Hugh and the shooters for his return.
Are we to blame? I said to my husband, you're to blame too. I never did anything. We were never strict with him. I was never strict. Philip was going on to be a boxer, brilliant at sport. Philip, I had no trouble at school with him. They had great friends, and
I'm the one who has
they got lost. They got lost. They got lost somewhere. They just through. I never realised how much drugs, but methadone, cocaine. Then they were taking. Oh my God! Now I just couldn't believe it. My own veins would be looking to take diazepam, Valium, cocaine. What else is there? Any drug that was. It was just take it all in.
Were you ever tempted to call the police?
Nope.
Are you glad you didn't?
I would never ever have tempted to.
Cops.
Our community will never expel armed Republicans. The history of opposition to Britain is too long, and it's almost instinctive in people. I think it might be even a gene within the Northern Irish. The community doesn't forget what happened 30 or 40 years ago. They will never lift the phone and phone the police about IRA volunteers or IRA actions. It's still seemed as informing, right? And it's probably the worst thing that an Irish person could be accused of as being an informer. I mean, it's horrific. I would rather be dead first. I'm told that the police haven't been in the area at all at night because there are dozens of armed Republicans walking about. I think the longer the police stay out of the area, the better.
I was very confused by Hugh when I first met him. Some of his statements seemed implausible. But Philly really had been shot, and Hugh was central to the negotiations. It was through him that I met Gary Donnelly, a well-known dissident Republican in Derry. He brought us to see this police raid.
About 30 of them kicked the door in. And then they grabbed and fucked up that wall, and the cop said, "I know you," says, "I had you with a baton 15 years ago."
He says?
Yeah, that's what he stood there, and then he told me the whole story. If you don't accept the system, don't accept the British police, then basically this is what they will do to you.
And do you have paramilitary links?
No.
Were you ever in the military?
No.
You were never in the IRA?
No.
The enemy has not gone away. One-time Republicans, now in the pay of the enemy, mock us with labels like microgroups and self-importantly ask us, what's our strategy? For us, the answer is quite simple. Our strategy is to continue to build our resistance to the illegal occupation of our country.
There's a lot of Republicans in this city who have invested an awful lot and struggled and suffered terribly, have lost loved ones, have spent the best years of their lives imprisoned, and they have got nothing whatsoever out of this phony peace process. And I think as the days go on, more and more this is beginning to be exposed.
Do you think the punishment shootings had much effect on support?
The Saturday movement don't carry out punishment attacks, but you don't have a normal society. Whilst politicians will fly around the world proclaiming to be normal and everything's sorted, the police force here has very little support in these communities. You know, there's no police officers living in these communities. They once somebody from these communities decide to join the British police, then they move out of these areas. And in the absence of that proper, normal, structured policing, there will be times when the community will take action itself.
They give you tobacco or anything? Because I says, Philip says to me, "Mammy," and I says, "I'm going to ask him to see if there was a resource centre will give me money to buy tobacco fee."
And Philip's place as well. It's a flat.
It's a wee flat. You know,
I
have you ever been in Belfast? Right, I know the way up.
No, I know how to get to Belfast. I just when I get there, I don't know how to get to
Yeah,
where we're going.
I know. You see where the Europa Hotel is?
Yeah.
I know which way to go from there.
No,
You
but
sure you don't want to go, Kimber? No. Right, now there's the two baths. Right. Go from there.
Sit there, just.
Do you want to do this on your own, or...?
Sweet.
You sure?
It's good.
4 months in March. 4 months this month. That's the longest you've ever been away. You know, he was like all the other bigger, and all the boys were all drinking. But he wasn't. Where'd you not? You didn't start drinking very well.
About 15, probably.
And what age are you now?
19.
And when did you start taking drugs then?
I was about 16. 6 days, the longest I ever went without sleeping.
Without sleep?
Aye. About the 5th day, I couldn't get more Red Bulls, so I started swallowing bags like that and drinking them with bottles of aftershock and Sambuca. But I just started sweating. And I was up near the window, I could see people running past. I could see about 70 people in the back in the dirt, walking around, hiding behind trees, no, but there was nobody even there. And I started seeing snakes with people's heads on it. I remember night in KB in the house, I seen the gunmen in the kitchen though. But I knew what way to control it, so I kept drinking water.
The front. And then I thought, then, what if you think I am somebody trying to kill me? Remember? I was afraid.
But I knew how to come down off it, because I started necking pints of water. Basically, your heart rate down and fill your... Because, see, when you're put in, it takes all the water to your body. Your head starts to play mind games, because it's dehydrated. So you fill your body back with water again. That shows that, what do you call it, the flash things in your head. You know, it makes you think too much. It slows them back down again.
And then the mood swings was...
You get depressed the first 2 days, and after the 2 days, you get angry. And after the anger, then...
He threatened to burn the house, threatened to kill Kevin Barry. I was afraid he was going to kill me. I was afraid. The way you were just going, them big noises, making big, really aggressive shouting. No, some smashing thing. All that. That's why Kevin Barry was so afraid, because they.
Oh.
I made that night I jammed the bedroom door because I thought that you were going to come on when I was sleeping and kill me. I really thought I was too afraid to go to sleep.
Does it sound really weird hearing that?
Sounds mad, right? That's when I was an addict, like, addicted to it.
How different is he to Kevin Barry when he was Kevin Barry's age?
A lot different.
A lot different.
It's different these days.
Kevin Barry is just Kevin Barry, isn't he? He wants a snake now for his birthday because he thinks it's dangerous. Kevin Barry thinks about throwing knives, hatchets, hammers, anything that...
Yeah, I got a sense of it.
But at the same time, I don't think he knows why.
Films.
But he's not violent. Does he, Philip?
No.
He's even got a violent bone in his body.
Would you like him to come back to stay?
Jeez, he knows right there, but I don't want to come back. But sure, that's what I asked you the other day. I asked somebody to find out for me.
Don't think he's that bothered.
He's not, but then again, I just would rather than if he's coming down.
So I stayed the weekends without the threat of getting shot again.
And we see Hugh's going to get back to me about that. Huh? I'm hoping you're giving me a hot minute. And see that all right. I'll go after you. You smell nice, Philip.
Lights are crazily at the far end. This is our older men's snooker hall. And as I said, you can see from the photographs on the wall, it's very, very well supported. We have maybe 14 or 15 different projects and programs running here.
We had an upsurge of on-street drinking and antisocial behaviour in the Rosemount area over the last 5 or 6 weeks where young people were out on at the top of zigzag steps. On the ground at the moment in our area, we're seeing a generation of young people growing up who believe that they've been left behind by everyone, basically. They class themselves as a lost generation. There's zero opportunities for jobs, for progression in life, as they see it. Most of the young kids we deal with, right up to 24-year-olds, they have 24 and believe that that's their life lived. I think the peace process was delivered as a package, mainly to stop violence, but also to create a better life for the younger people and the younger generation coming through. On that point, I believe it hasn't really delivered.
Just under a year, we've dealt with 112 cases of people being under threat, and we've resolved, to the victim's satisfaction, 105. So, I mean, it's a high, very high success rate, 90, maybe 97% success.
He must have money, does he not? He put himself up somewhere.
He says he doesn't, you know, but fuck me. See, if he was under a death threat, he could fucking sleep at my house.
Aye.
But I've talked to him, but they're saying no.
There's nothing there?
There's nothing at all. Well, listen, if we can get him to get somewhere tonight and tie him with us tomorrow,
aye,
then we will get him sorted out in Belfast.
Aye, no
so if you can relay that to him.
Aye.
Okay.
Do, hey.
All right.
No sweat. Okay,
all right, Dad. Okay. We're not dealing with monsters. We're dealing with people who are our neighbours. But when it comes to these sort of negotiations, the neighbourliness and the friendship are all put aside, and it's dealt with very, very professionally, I have to say.
How concerned are you for Sinéad O'Donnell?
At the moment, you know, circumstances with Philly is expelled out of the city. Now we're trying to keep active support with Philly and trying to encourage Philly on the projects and different things. Now it's up to Philly himself if he wants to avail of those services, but I think we have to be here as a support mechanism to show that there is some support out there for him.
Do you think he deserved what he got?
No one deserves to be shot. Because of the circumstances we've grown up in here, violence has been acceptable, and in some people it's justified.
How concerned are you for his younger brother, Kevin Barry?
I don't really want to answer that.
Yes, Colin. I just want to talk to you about the Philly thing when you come back, okay? Yeah. All right? All right. See you then. Bye. He has a meeting now at 2 o'clock.
How private are our conversations here?
Entirely private. Just you, I, and whatever section of the intelligence establishment is listening in at the moment. I would assume the armed groups, when they need to speak to us, they don't speak to us on here. Given that we deal with all the armed groups, it would be foolish to think that our conversations are being recorded.
Hugh assured me that I would now also be watched and that I had to be careful regarding him and the centre. I wasn't sure what to think, but from then on, our main communications were face to face.
Whatever, maybe it's gone or something.
Philly was back home. There'd been trouble in Belfast, and it was thought that he would be safer in Derry, where he'd have to submit to drug tests and closer monitoring.
What are you doing at the moment?
Sit about all day.
Facebook?
Facebook,
Do you have many friends?
He can't go out, you see. He just has to lie low at the minute and he has to get a drugs test. So been stuck in the house. He hasn't got no friends. He can't go out, you know, with his friends. The minute, you know, he just stays in the house. We've had time to reflect on that now, so it's what the damage has done to him, because it hasn't made him any better. You know, Psychologically, it's played with his head, and he's been asking the questions, why? He had been sending me text messages, telling me he's sorry. And then I knew then that there was something wrong. And I got him straight to the doctor that morning. And it was, he was thinking of suicide. He told me then he was thinking about it. He was looking for big enough plastic ties that'll go around his throat. This is how dark he feels. He just feels as if he's, I don't know, it's just wild negative thoughts he's got about everything.
Head's not the same, like. Paranoid. Won't go into certain places. Angry. Love to kill one of them. That's all I want. That's all I'm thinking.
When he has a drink in him, that's when he comes out and he cries about what happened and how he felt. And I was saying to him, I didn't do this to hurt you. This is what I did to keep you safe because of what they were going to do if I hadn't taken him up. You know, he has to understand that they were going to leave him in a week. They were going to shoot him really bad. And they still could do it now.
17-year-old boy has been assaulted in North Belfast. He was standing outside a shop at Hopewell Crescent when two men dragged him into an alleyway just before 11 o'clock last night and attacked him.
Tell me that I went to jail. Everything just started going mad after that. When he went in, it was drugs. And that's where I got the proper hitches for the paramilitaries in. Took him away, you know what I mean? Got him locked up. That's when I started going off a raise then, when he went to jail.
Why didn't you just run away?
And keep running with, but they're eventually like kids, you know what I mean? They're just getting over and done with.
I'm just trying to get to the bottom of a parent bringing a child to be shot.
They're afraid to come down on the houses. They don't like taking that risk of, you know, getting caught. That's why they give you appointments, shitting appointments, sort of thing. There's about 200 or 300 of them in Derry, but everybody knows who the main characters are, like.
It just still seems weird that, you know, everyone knows who the shooters are. There is a method to put them in jail. There is
Of course they can. The cops can do it like that.
But why don't you help?
Because the cops are, I wouldn't work with police, no chance. The cops are working with a rat, and that's a fact. Why do you think none of them's in jail? You know what I mean?
The police say it's because nobody in the community will help them.
It's all balls. They know all the top boys. You know what I mean? But it's just they don't have evidence to fucking arrest them. But sure, you know what I mean? It's life. It's all crazy.
Six and 8, 68. Blind 80. On its own number 8, the garden gate.
Check.
Check. No more.
I was allocated a lung consultant. He said to me, that's your right lung, that's your left lung. See that white bit there in your left lung? I said, yeah, thinking he was going to tell me that's bronchiectasis. He says, that's cancer. And I said, fuck off. Are you for real? I'll either come round or I won't. And if I come round, then fine, everything's okay. And if I don't, then I won't know anything about it. I will be dead. That's the way it is, and that's the realist, and to a certain extent, the fatalist in me. That's life.
The mood in the house had changed since Philly had come home. I wasn't sure why, but I felt nervous. Majella was more guarded. Kevin Barry seemed more distant.
Kevin Barry's 12 now, so he's going to be over now his first year in school now, and he's going to go into his second year. Seems happy enough now. Like, he still goes on wild childish, you know. Our people haven't been through some of the things that he's been through. Losing his daddy, going into jail, and all the after effects that's happened in the house, and all the worrying he's had to do, aye. Because I was telling him, he was a wee bit worried about Philip, and that for him to keep his eye on him. So Kevin Barry's kind of looking out for him, you know. Because he does look up to Philip a lot. He definitely does.
Right. I'm going to start to try to get them all on the order now. Just have a look around, see if they're all working, if there's anything missing. If there's anything missing on them, we'll put them to one side. And then there was a great lull last year. There was very little shootings, and I think this year there's been a massive increase in shootings. Again, it's always been. A lot of the young people here in this community are suffering from PTS, post-traumatic stress syndrome. You know, when they hear someone was shot, it's like, I know him, or what was he shot for? It's not as if, oh, horrified, this is a tragic thing, that somebody's been maimed or shot. And it's not that reaction that you would normally get in any normal community.
Come ahead, Darren, come ahead. And you go there.
See Santa, right?
And you go. There's Santa.
You're gonna get your present.
How many other societies do you know that young boys are left in a back alley with 2 or 3 bullets in their legs for selling drugs? You know, what is normal?
1, 2, 3, Santa!
It is fucking crazy. But it's normal.
Stop it, acting like that. Hold on a minute. Mir, get out. Get up the stairs. Get up the stairs. Get up the stairs. Get up the stairs and don't talk to me like that to you as well. When I'm gonna see when they go, I'm thumping you. Don't talk to me like that.
I think you're stricter with Kevin Barry.
No, he gets off for too much. He's getting thumped when he's go.
Do you think you were strict with Philly?
No, because Philip didn't act the way he goes on. No, they weren't. They were never that bad. But I brought Philip back last April. By July, he got another death threat from here. The real IRA again. But not that he'd done anything. It was just been, just an ass. I went up to see one of the men out of one of the paramilitary groups. I went up to see one of them last week, and I says to him that Philip was getting the blame for throwing bottles at a prominent member of the 32s. And I says, and Philip has blatantly says, I have not done it. I'm not going nowhere. I'm staying where I am. He went to the shop the other day, but he didn't go on his own, but it was the first time he's went to the shop in about 2 or 3 years. For a long time, he wasn't sleeping at all. Every time he slept, he was having nightmares about masked men, always about masked men. and about all these other things happening to him. A lot's happened in 2 years. And it seems as if it's been longer than that because and we don't go on about it now. We just don't talk about it anymore. I don't want to go on about it because I should never did it. I realise now it was the wrong thing to do. It was absolutely the wrong thing. I'm getting shot even to start off with because it made him even worse. And the hatred then that I had towards the paramilitaries. If there had been some other way of dealing with it other than that, but it's what happens has happened. And we can't go back. Is that my fault now?
I'm sitting in there.
Have you been in that house since this morning?
Aye.
You're over in that party over there.
Not a party. It's fucking not chilling with it. I grabbed the chargers. Use the chargers.
You've been taking drugs as well. Oh yes. Your hands are moving away.
Man, cut the fuck up. I'm a fucking...
Don't talk, Philip.
I'm not taking drugs. I'm only waking up about half an hour.
Why do you think he's taking drugs?
It's just the way he was moving his hands. Look at there. Doesn't it, Philip? I don't want to say that. You didn't have a bottle, Philip? I'm saying about, meth. Doesn't it? Somebody up round the corner and they're like this here. No, I know, but
Billy, did you want to come and have a chat with us?
No, there's no point. Just let him go.
Why should all the jobs go to Coleraine? Vote independent. Vote Don O'Reilly tomorrow. This is your future tomorrow, the future for your children.
O'Reilly, Darren, Independent 1091. Boyle and O'Reilly are deemed elected.
And I says it from the start, I'm not going to get into politics for sake of into politics. I'm getting into this because it's a vehicle to help my community. Hopefully that'll keep me on the right side. So you can see from the response, this is the people who elected me and asked me to stand, so it was a pleasure to stand for them.
What's going on right here at the moment?
Fucking everything. I was told I was be lucky if I get left alive or something. They would shoot me about 9 times and break my legs and arms and fucking...
Who said that to you?
The rat. They're trying to fucking make up things so they can shoot me, sort of things. An IRA boy walked past me last week. He's going back and telling the ones in the Rosemount Resource Centre that I was firing bottles at him and calling him a scumbag now when I wasn't. They're not paramilitaries. They're hoods with guns, that's what they are.
How much do you trust Hugh?
Hugh really? I fucking hate Hugh really. The clown.
What about Darren? Would you trust him?
Sure, he wiped his hands off me. Because fucking I was blocked up there and I gave my fingers or something. So fuck him as well, you know what I mean? They're all working with a rat as well.
Really?
Aye. Fuck's sake. There'll be secret meetings up there, I'd say they're all working with a rat.
And the people who are threatening you, have you known them for long?
I know all of them. Oh, fucking twads. I think they're brainwashed, all of them, through their dad's generations, and you know, from like their dads now would have been back, you know, in the trouble sort of thing, and they're brought up brainwashed and they all this fucking thing, and they think there's a war still going on when there really is not.
Well, they say they have to clean up the streets because there's too many kids out drinking and taking drugs.
Sure, they're selling drugs themselves. Certain few boys, their drug dealers are paying them off, and they're fucking putting it in their back pockets, and they're letting certain free drug dealers sell in the town. You know what I mean? And they're meant to be cleaning up the streets and doing whatever. They're fucking twats. The Rosemount Centre is full of the fucking scumbags. It's full of fucking rats. Everybody knows it. On Wednesdays last week, like, I was ready to throw the rope up out around there and hang myself, like. I've fucking been constantly fucking looking over your shoulder for doing nothing wrong, like, you know what I mean? Getting blamed and wrong. But I didn't want to give anyone the satisfaction of me hanging myself, because they'd be loving it then. If it wasn't for my wee brother and my ma, like, I would have thrown the rope up ages ago. You know what I mean? Am I jumped the bridge? It's your wee man I was telling you about there, right? He's up here a couple of times with us. His body hasn't been found yet or something.
Full Centre Rescue was out this morning at 9 o'clock. The helicopter was really low.
He hasn't been found yet.
Flying round, must have been flying round to see if they could find the wee boy. What age is he? He's only 19.
Only turned 19.
And what was that going to fill up? Does that wee boy take drugs too?
No, not really. It's going to be a weekend now the last couple of months. Don't know what it's probably about.
That's terrible.
After my last visit, the O'Donnells didn't want to meet anymore. It seemed like they were coming under pressure from a number of directions. Hugh was now undergoing treatment for his cancer, but provided me with updates about the family.
The news that we're getting about Philly isn't good. We actually thought Philly had turned a corner. They're saying that he's back in his old ways, and if that's the case, then and they're looking at him, they're obviously close to making a decision. Philly's in grave danger. In my opinion, only one outcome for Philly when that happens. Kevin Barry just turned 13 now. We've been contacted by the school. Barry's become very problematic in school, particularly with female teachers. At the moment, he's only, I think it's 1 hour per day in school. It's the school saying he's on his last legs. I don't want Kevin Barry, anybody like him, getting hurt again in our community. Our community doesn't want it. And if it takes a fright to make him see what he's doing is wrong, as long as it's only a fright, I would be quite happy, because the last thing I want to see is Kevin Barry getting hurt.
I phoned and called the O'Donnell house, but there was no answer. I didn't know what to make of what Hugh had said. It was impossible to tell if what I was hearing was the truth or exaggeration, and I was starting to wonder if anyone knew. But actually, there was often no difference. One day, I got a call from Hugh. He wanted me to come to Derry because he had something to show me. He didn't say anything more, but he'd never asked for something like this before.
It'll be twilight shortly, you know? And somebody will come and contact us. The faction we're talking to tonight, they have been on a purge for the last 3 weeks of drug dealers in this area. And I mean, they're doing a very, very good job. The number of drug dealers who have approached us, they say, listen, I've stopped, will you let them people know? We're quite happy to let them know, you know. But there's no way anybody in this city will be critical of them because they're doing what the police are supposed to do and aren't doing.
We waited for darkness. I still wasn't sure what we were going to do, or even be allowed to do. Hugh seemed to be suggesting that we were going to meet members of an armed group, but this seemed risky and unlikely. Those involved before had faced arrest and imprisonment.
All right, lads. During the course of it, is it okay if she goes up to one of them with a mic and says that I would like to ask you a question? It's not good. It's not like. Where do you want us? Here. Aye. 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 Okay. We're just sitting here anyway. All right. They're going to ring me and say, hey, that's there on, and we'll go back that way there.
And so we waited. The gunmen were apparently worried about an unmarked police car that had been seen in a nearby estate.
2 years ago, this crowd would have told me to fuck off. They would have been looking to shoot me. I actually would have been the biggest threat they had. Because in the past, they were a bunch of fucking gangsters. We were a raised Navy as well. Navy, we went frog suits and we tried to blow up a British Army checkpoint. Was on the quay. 40-pound bomb. We just couldn't get it right to get down, and guys just jumped in the fucking river in frustration, you know. These guys were all fucking wearing wetsuits and were carrying guns in plastic bags. For fuck's sake. I blew up an army camp one night with a knife in my teeth. Yes?
They're still flying about there.
Right.
Flying before you go ahead,
Aye. Okay. Where do you want us to go? Right. No bother. Well, look, whatever's safest for yourselves, you know.
You don't want that to mention specific group.
No. We're one of my armed groups, aye. Where? Up here? Through this gap?
Where do you want us to stand? Stand here, no.
Right, okay. Okay. You said they want him, that she's going to come to him with a microphone. Aye, they...
So there's one on brief to talk about the base better for sure.
It's better for recording. You don't want them electronically recorded. How long are you talking about? A few minutes?
10 minutes max.
Right, okay. Aye. Aye, not a problem. All right.
Hugh's stories had stopped. We were all much quieter now. There was real concern that something might go wrong. It was only about 9 o'clock, but the neighbourhood was almost silent.
That's him. There's 4 or 5 of them. Hey. Right. You've got them all now. Well, they're going to come right down to you.
Can I put a question to you now?
Jeez, thanks, lads. Thanks. Jeez, I thought they were a lot better weapon than that.
The relief was huge. Suddenly everyone came out of their houses again. I could even hear them chatting to Hugh about making the film.
Am I on the phone?
I don't think so, no.
I wouldn't like to hope she's doing was all.
Was that just a show?
No, it's not that.
No,
I genuinely thought it was just. She was.
No change in you. Hey, I'll see you later. Thanks.
It all then seemed like a performance, except it wasn't, for one person.
That's Tina Allen's house, Christine Allen.
Oh, Jesus.
She looked out the window and I see mass man comes. She's in there crying.
Hey, do you want me to go on?
Well, I says you probably would, wouldn't
Christine Allen is a sister of Andrew Allen, 24-year-old from Derry who'd been shot dead by dissident Republicans after protracted negotiations with the Rosemount. Like Philly O'Donnell, he had been accused of being a drug dealer.
You all right? Jesus, I didn't... Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry. I obviously didn't know you were on here.
No, that's all right.
And we were getting directed by other people. They were telling us where to go, right? So
It's just about in shock.
if I had known you were on here, I would have come on and said, look, we're going to be doing something. Don't...
No, it's all right. Just about...
Jesus Christ, I am so sorry. Thank you. Jesus.
Andrew Allen, though, he was killed by Rab.
Yeah. His sister was standing at the window and she seen the armed guy coming with a rifle and she thought, Jesus, is he coming in here to shoot me? I will get a phone call from her mother tonight. And her mother's a lovely woman. Andrew Allen's man is a dote. She has worked with us in Rosemount and she would she would get ripped into anybody that was slagging us off or saying anything bad about us, you know. What you've just seen, what we've just witnessed, is an armed organisation patrolling the streets. This wasn't unusual during the war here, and it's not unusual now in the so-called peace. What we have in these areas are drug dealers who don't care who they poison, and are quite happy to make a lot of money off the backs of suffering and deprivation. And you have groups like the group that we just witnessed there now, who are actively gathering intelligence on these people and taking action against them. People in these areas have no difficulty whatsoever with what we just witnessed. They would look on it as that's the people that's looking after our security.
Full of oak!
at a school, a classmate murdered by British soldiers at 11 years of age. You know, and it's issues like that affect you. You know, one day there's somebody sitting in class beside you, the next day, you know, a couple of days later they're being buried.
Do you ever just think maybe I'll just leave?
You know, that's like asking the black man, what would it take you to accept the Ku Klux Klan? You know.
My grandfather was shot and wounded on Bloody Sunday. The Troubles played a role within my framework or makeup, as you want to say.
Do you see a link between the O'Donnell family and the system generally?
It's not just about one specific family, but it is apparent and there is patterns within young people within this community. It's hard, you know, to grow up in this area. And we're standing here today at the Memorial Bloody Sunday, and we still haven't got justice. The soldiers who killed people on that day are still having to go through a court, not even through an interview process. And there's a lot of cases out there on both sides where people haven't got justice and families still feel grieved. And while families still haven't got justice and closure, you're going to still have that element of people who can't leave the past behind. And that then filters down into their children and their grandchildren. So it's very raw.
We seek peace to be at peace with the truth and hope for what is to come.
Another message came. A member of one of the armed dissident groups wanted to meet.
How do you know who you can trust?
Well, parts of the community where we know we'll be very safe. Obviously, it's never 100% because the British forces are always trying to recruit the farmers, but by and large, we've been fairly successful over the last number of years.
Do you really think you're helping the community?
When the armed struggle was a full flight of leaders that would not have raised their heads, but would not have dared to come into our communities, but they're sneaking in and out them and we all have a duty to protect our communities from the scourge. If somebody is punished in their community, we would tell people not to stigmatise them, not to bully them, and not make them feel part of the community again. If they are trying to be positive, we would help them as much as we can.
Is that true in the case of Philly O'Donnell?
He's an author of his own research, to be honest.
Philly, as you know, has been shot, he's been banished and he's been beaten. And I mean, he's back at it again. Philly's father's in jail for Republican activity. And the organisation that did that was the same organisation that's going to punish Philly this time. These people, they're going to kill him. See if he doesn't stop, they will kill him. And I mean, that'll stop him. And there wouldn't be a lot of people would mourn him. And that's sad to say, but that's the reality.
It was now 2 years since I'd been inside the O'Donnell house. Plans to film were continually cancelled at the last minute. Only Hugh remained in touch, even when he was very weak from treatments for his cancer. There had always seemed to be a shadow over his departure from the Republican movement during the peace process. Eventually, he agreed to discuss this on camera. To my surprise, some of it had been to do with drugs.
I was arrested with a quarter-ounce of cannabis, and I was dismissed from the Republican movement. It is my belief that it was done because I had been vociferous in my opposition to certain aspects of the Good Friday Agreement. What happened was that about 2 weeks after I was caught with cannabis, I was sitting in a bar one night with my friends, and armed and masked men came in, and it was Children in Need Night. I actually thought it was a joke, and they took me out on the street and tied me to a lamppost and painted me. And the IRA claimed responsibility for it.
What's painting?
They poured paint over my head. And they put stuff on it that wouldn't make it stick. Initially, I couldn't get my head around why the Republican family would do that to me. If I'm being totally honest, it took me about 4 years to get over it. I was involved with the Republican movement since I was 15 years of age, maybe 21, 22 years. So it was all my adult life up to that point. That certainly was like a death in the family. When you're living at the levels that we were living at, and the adrenaline levels are just high all the time, just to stay alive. Other things like enjoying your children growing up, I probably missed because of my involvement with the Republican movement. And that is the only regret that I have. I'm actually delighted now that I'm in the situation I am, because I'm closer to my family now. So that's the good that came out of it.
Finally, there was news from the O'Donnells. Philly O'Donnell Sr. had just been released from prison after serving 7 years of his 13-year sentence. It was now nearly 3 years since I'd been in their house. I had no idea how I was going to be received.
Oh, excuse me? Is your name Mr. O'Donnell?
Yep.
Sorry, my name is Sinéad O'Shea. I was going to call over to your house, but I heard that you came out of prison
I just
this
came out
week.
there on Tuesday.
How are you doing anyway?
It's hard, don't get me wrong, it's hard, but, getting there.
And
when you're in jail, there's nothing you can do. You have
you.
friends out here, but they can only do so much. You can only call on so many favours. After I went to jail, I explained to the Republican movement. So they went and got involved in drugs and went involved in this, trying to get back at me, but, they've all, thank God, they've all wised up now a wee bit and changed their ways, so we can't complain, but...
and how's Kevin Barry?
He's 15 now, he's at a nice place now, so we were away yesterday doing a bit of bonding and, so we're getting there, and he's taking up boxing now, where he's getting rid of frustration and the anger.
Yeah. No, I think she got sick of me phoning her. I haven't talked to her for about 2 years.
Where are you?
Majella, hi.
Are you back to torture us again?
I'm not. If you've had the chance to ask Philip before we go.
He doesn't live here, he doesn't go home.
Philip settled down now and have his careful, have you with it?
No way.
You can ask him for it. See what he says.
Hello. Lovely to see you again. Do you remember me?
Years ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow fucking John J. Rambo. And I had to be profile for us and I fucking be our way in Iran. Yeah, I was going to join them at one stage, but there's no humor about the happening. Where can I join them? Come back, you're 16. Fuck's sake, wouldn't do it now. Not had a chance. Wouldn't even let me in.
What age are you now?
15.
And when are you going to be 16?
In March now, just a month's time.
Okay, and what are you going to do for your birthday?
I don't know yet, probably. Get more gym stuff and boxing stuff and all. Stuff like that.
Yeah, what's the story with the boxing?
Gets aggression and all and stuff out.
How aggressive are you?
Nah, not that bad no more. I take it out in a bag up in the gym and hit people's heads. I was kicked out of school, or kicking a teacher's door for, you know. Because I heard her and another teacher talking about my family's no time my dad went to jail now. I kicked the door for and fucking grabbed her by her hair and dragged her out the fucking hall. I was gonna kill her too, but the teacher pulled me off her.
What do you mean you were going to kill her?
I was gonna kill her.
Why?
Because I heard her talking about my family, and I take things like that well bad. When I don't care if it's about me, but when it comes to family, I take that to heart.
And did you not feel a bit bad about hitting a woman?
I didn't hit her.
Well, okay, dragging her by the hair.
I don't give a fuck. I would have done more than that. The teacher would have done pull me off her. That's my family. End of the day, you do the same thing to protect them.
But do you think she was really going to harm your family as much as you could have harmed her?
No, but the thing is, I had anger problems, still do, but then I flipped out. I shouldn't have really done it, to be honest with you. A couple of years ago, got my nose broken on and stuff like that by them, but a crack.
Who broke your nose?
The Republicans promoters. I turned around and 3 men just ran over and just knocked me out, and I was on the ground. They were jumping my legs and bit me in the nose. They steel-toe cap boots and jumping all over my head and all, and pads and all, but didn't really do that much damage.
But actually, someone said to me that you were in trouble and that, and they said, well, maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing if you got a fright.
A fright? You don't laugh? Folks like my whole life been afraid. Man, my door with AK-47s and fucking machine guns when I was maybe about 9. And they're fucking afraid.
What do you think about what happened with Philly when he got shot?
Well, if he didn't get shot in the eye, you get shot in the head, so he's all right now. He can still walk now. It's a bit of problem with his legs and stuff like that, but he's not lost it, so he's all right. Just after he just lost the head, and then took him about 4 years to calm down. Now he's just about calming down now. Fuck's sake, all after all that time.
Philly, how's Philly, how's your work going? Philly?
What?
No. How's your work going?
Work?
Yeah.
I don't work.
Are you just getting ready for being a dad?
He's filling the sit and I'm sitting on here.
Here, man, I found this in the attic. I might keep it, well.
Oh, that's nice.
That's it.
Why? Did you show that to them, boys?
What's it say?
Only the defeated give up. We are not defeated.
Took you out of
What about your mum as well? Because you were very close when
we
they
still
filmed
are.
you.
Maybe my ma's fucking joined at the hip. We always were. It's an Irish ma, you understand, like.
What did your dad do?
Blew it up.
Blew up what?
Destroyed a police station.
And he got caught doing it.
Yes.
What did people make of that around here?
Called him a fucking legend. I think I'm still down to jail. No, like smoking grass, but I've never took real drugs until I was about 14.
And have you actually tried to commit suicide?
Loads of times. But I didn't, because I think about my family. I know my dad, my dad getting out, all sorts. I was looking forward to it. But if my dad wasn't here, I think I'd be away. No, not laughing, no. Because he's like my best friend. Me, him and Foy are like best friends.
How common a thing is it feeling suicidal in this area?
Oh, Derry? Fucking wild for it.
Why is that, do you think?
Drugs.
In that case, then, maybe the paramilitaries had a point about the drug dealers.
What, shooting people?
In that they were dangerous for society.
And all they're doing is taxing them now. You know what that means? Like, they go to your house and say, if you don't give me $5,000, I'm going to shoot you. But if you give me $5,000, I'll let you drug deal in my community. If you give me, and they come back, give me $6,000, give me $7,000. If you're a big drug dealer, they come, give me $20,000. I will let you stay in Derry. Come back the next month, give me $20,000. Give me $20,000. Let you deal in the community and tell their fucking defenders of the community. See, I don't take a bet. See, they went out and shot policemen and shot Brits and fucking took the fight to the people that they should be. No fucking power, probably been them now. That's gospel, like, but just not that way no more. They're sold out Republicans. They're just sort of hoods with guns. After I met that weekend, just called Canada away and just moved away from it all.
Do you think that was all that you needed to happen?
Big time. She's a lifesaver. She's a lifesaver, but she's also a fucking cunt. Let me see. It's a real riot, boy. See that? It's a real riot.
Let me see. Who's that?
Me?
Your fingers are working.
I'm not exactly. Just in case they use it for some propaganda or something.
What is that for propaganda? Fuck is all.
Would you prefer it with the troubles back?
Fucking right. I'm fed up, bored. There's nothing around this place.
That is quite surprising for people. That you would want the troubles to come back.
Everyone would.
What do you mean by everyone?
All people my age and all.
What do they want?
The troubles back. The madness, the riots, the fucking shooting, the bombings, everything.
Why do you want the troubles to come back?
Because they love us to forget. I would no power, fuck's sake. Can't be an RPG now, go out and shoot the cosplay.
So much has happened. This year is a good year for us. Phil's out of prison. Philip's happy. He's going to be a dad. Everybody's grand, Kevin, Barry's. So this is a good year. It just worked itself out. It has, that's what it's done. Over the last couple of years, it's worked itself out. What happened then. And I can't change it. And you just have to take every day as it comes now.
Six weeks after we filmed this scene, Philly O'Donnell Sr. was shot in both knees by dissident Republicans. The shooting took place less than half a mile from his home. I sent several messages to Majella and the O'Donnell family. They didn't reply. It had been exactly 5 years since Majella had brought Philly O'Donnell Jr. to be shot.